You were looking at a live picture of Sky 3 atop Caesars Palace Hotel and Casino. Just about 40 minutes ago, black smoke was billowing from the top of Caesars. It is out now. We will have a live report coming up in just a moment.
This is News 3 at noon with Sue Manteris and Scott Haws.
Good afternoon, everyone. We do have some breaking news. You saw first on 3 less than an hour ago some construction material on the roof of Caesars Palace apparently caught fire.
We do have News 3 first response team coverage. Greg Deacon is in Sky 3 and Kim Capozzo is live at the scene. Kim, we have heard reports of some type of explosion, but do we know exactly what has happened?
Still trying to figure out the details, Chera. What I can show you right now is they're in the middle of shutting down Flamingo eastbound right here at I-15, meaning if you're heading toward the Strip. And the strange part is if you look at Caesars now, we'll pan over and show you, it doesn't look like anything ever happened. However, the black smoke tells a different picture, a different story. We do have pictures of when it happened. Like you said, a little less than 40 minutes ago. I do have someone with me that was on the scene when the black smoke started billowing, and actually Gary Davis, a construction worker that was on the site, you said it actually rocked your entire body. It was an explosion is what you're explaining.
I felt like the implosion when it exploded, and then one of the guys running the crane, he was out there. He asked everybody to get off. Everybody come down like, you know, wildfires basically, and when we got out there and got to look at the roof, we could see the black smoke.
Now, Gary, we're hearing two different things. We're hearing it was a propane tank that exploded, and we're hearing that it was a transformer that blew. You were on site. What do you know?
I heard from a paramedic that it was a propane, and I heard from other people that it was a transformer, so I don't know.
And let's talk about the location. We do have more video we can roll over this interview here to show you exactly just how black the smoke was and how it really, when I came out over just across the street here, we thought all of Caesars was on fire. And what were you guys doing? What was your initial reaction when you felt the explosion, how you describe it?
Basically, it shook your body, and then to get underneath where they're putting the new structure up right now, which are the steel I-beams and everything, just everybody to get out from underneath there, and when we did, we could see the black smoke up in the sky.
Gary, take a look at the video we have rolling right now. We are trying to figure out where this happened. We're hearing conflicting reports. We thought it looked like it was on the tower. We're hearing it was above on the roof. What did you see?
Where I saw the smoke and where it was is above the new structure, which is where all the I-beams and where they just remodeled. So I would say it would be east of the tower and north of the other tower, or south of the other tower.
So it looks like it was above the new construction is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's where I seen the smoke.
Okay, and as far as any injuries, it sounds like one person was burned. Is that what we're hearing?
That's what I heard from the paramedic, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Well, do you think you're going to get off work for the rest of the day?
That'd be nice, but I don't know.
We'll let you head back there. Thank you very much, Gary Davis, who was, again, on the site when it happened. He says it felt like, to him, a propane tank explosion because he said it rocked his entire body. The good news in all of this, Chera and Scott, is that no one has been seriously injured as far as we know. Initial report sounds like someone did receive some burns by putting it out with a fire extinguisher. Again, we don't know if it was a transformer that blew or a propane tank that blew. Someone did receive burns by using a fire extinguisher. That's the extent to what we know right now. Of course, we'll be covering the story and have an update on News 3 at 4 o'clock. For now, I'm Kim Capozzo reporting live. Back to you guys in the studio.
Kim, thank you. And of course, now let's take a look from just above the fire.
That's exactly right. Greg Deacon, you're up above, and you can see some of the fire crews there, at least surveying some of the charred areas on top of the roof.
That's right. Or we'll switch you out, give you the bird's eye view, and yeah, you can see there's quite a bit of area right in this area that did catch on fire. Right there is an air conditioner. We can see when we first got on scene, we thought, well, maybe it could have started in that air conditioner ourselves. We weren't sure. And then also, as we'll pull back just a little bit here with the camera, it looks like maybe some roofing's taken place there too. So we happened to be in the air when we first saw the black smoke. It was about 11:17. We were in the air over at North Las Vegas Airport. And give you an idea just how quickly the fire crews got on this and got it out. It's maybe a 5-minute flight over from the airport to Caesars here. And that amount of time, by the time we got here, they actually had just about the entire thing knocked down. They were spraying water on the roof. And real quick action here by the firefighters to get this fire extinguished. Now, again, I'm having a little bit of trouble just actually giving you a good view of it, only because it is stuck in between these two towers. They're actually the smaller towers that are on the east side of Caesars, and they're kind of stuck in here. Plus, we got several other helicopters up here and some wind, and again, not much of an area that we were able to work in to give you that view, but now we're looking just about straight down on top of it, and you can see a lot of charred black roofing there, but no smoke coming off the scene at this time, and again, very quick action by the firefighters, and gosh, this is also, we'll just let you know, this doesn't seem to be affecting any traffic on the Strip or anywhere around Caesars, so that's the way it looks from up above here in Sky 3. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, a tough area to film, Captain. We appreciate it, and of course, we will continue to bring you more information as it comes in. Fire crews still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Meantime, on to our other stories. They worked as a team, breaking into homes around the valley, terrorizing homeowners, even sexually assaulting at least one of their victims.
But now, just days after their latest crime spree, police have arrested this team of 4 men and 1 woman. This is video of one of the suspects who was arrested yesterday. 3 other men and 1 woman were also taken into custody. We'll try and get that video for you as soon as we can. That's some welcome news for one couple who came face to face with the 3 burglars on Tuesday, which was a horrifying experience they say they will never forget.
Kill you. If you don't give us your guns, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you. We're going to kill you.
3 men who broke into this house on Tuesday did more than just steal $2,000 in cash and $7,000 in jewelry. At one point, police say they sexually assaulted a woman in the home, and before they left, they grabbed one of the family's dogs, breaking an 8-year-old girl's heart. The dog has since been found and returned to the owners, and police say the valley is a lot safer now that these suspects are in custody.
Are extremely dangerous. As you know, they entered these locations with weapons. They committed a sexual assault. Basically, these individuals were predators, and we're extremely happy we got them off the street.
Right now, police say they believe the suspects are connected to 3 recent robberies in West Las Vegas and also 1 in Henderson.
And just because these 5 are off the streets doesn't mean we can let down our guards. I just got off the phone a short time ago with Metro's Crime Prevention Bureau, and there are some basic things you should be doing and also not be doing to make you and your home less likely to be targeted by thieves. When it comes to home invasions, never open your door to strangers. Ask for ID if someone is delivering something unexpected that they may say you need to sign for. Otherwise, have them leave it on the porch. When going home, make sure no one is following you, and if you are being followed, don't go home. You can even drive to a police station. And when you open your garage door, look around your house first to see if anyone suspicious is out there. Then once you are inside the garage, shut the garage door even before you turn the car off. That way, if someone does come inside your garage, you are still in the car and can back out of the garage and get away still. And finally, keep all of your doors and windows locked even when you are at home. The door that is most commonly left unlocked, the door from the garage to the house. And if you park a car outside, don't leave a garage door open or in the car. Coming up in the next half hour of News 3 at noon, we will pass along some tips from Metro on what to do to prevent burglaries, especially when you are out of town.
An elderly man is in the hospital in critical condition, fighting for his life after being hit by a car. It happened around 7:30 this morning on Westlake Mead and D Street. Police say the Camaro was going eastbound, approaching a green light at D Street when the 86-year-old man stepped into the roadway. Investigators say the Camaro tried to stop but couldn't and ended up hitting the man. Metro says speed was not a factor and no citations are expected to be issued since the driver of the Camaro was not at fault.
The scandal involving stolen FBI secrets continues to grow with 9 more arrests, including 3 Las Vegans. Last week, police arrested this man, James Hill, accused of stealing secret information from the government. Investigators say one of the women arrested is Mary Ellen Weeks, who works for the Las Vegas Municipal Court System. The other is Maria Emeterio, an investigator for the Nevada Attorney General's office. They're accused of stealing information from the FBI's National Crime Database and selling those records for $100 each. Another local man is Robert Potter, who was arrested. He's charged with paying for FBI information. Also arrested yesterday were 6 defendants accused of buying the stolen information. Now, according to the FBI, a lot of the data relates to organized crime cases in New York City. Authorities in New York say Las Vegas private investigator Michael Lemmon raked in more than $100,000 by orchestrating the buying and selling of the stolen secrets.
The woman accused of killing her mother, then stuffing her in a storage locker, apparently has a history of trouble with the law. Investigators say Brookie West's attorney is trying to keep a laundry list of so-called prior bad acts from being admitted at trial. In a preliminary hearing yesterday, prosecutors told a judge West had been cashing Social Security checks for his missing mother and brother. Jury selection for the trial begins on Monday.
Do you really know how a proposed nuclear test site at Yucca Mountain would affect you? After much debate, Valley residents had a chance to learn more and speak out about the proposed nuclear test site. Yesterday, county commissioners held a public meeting about the issue. A number of people turned out, and their reactions were mixed.
I say that the waste should stay where it is, where the people who are gaining the benefit of the power, they're getting the cheap nuclear power right now, they should be the ones to put up with the problem until an appropriate solution is found.
Nuclear power is producing 20% of our electricity, and if we don't have a place to put the spent fuel, a lot of people are going to be without power, and that upsets me.
County leaders plan to hold similar meetings in the future. Everyone who showed up was asked to fill out a questionnaire. The results will be tallied and forwarded to the Department of Energy. The state of Nevada has filed suit against the Environmental Protection Agency for issues relating to the Yucca Mountain project.
It may sound like a stereotype, but the state's public safety office says it indeed is true. Men are more likely to die in a car crash and be arrested for drunk driving than women are. The state's public safety office is using the numbers in a new advertising campaign to target men. The reason for the Why Risk It theme includes the fact that last year in Nevada, 170 drivers were killed in crashes. 128 of those were men. Over 9,000 drivers were arrested for DUIs. 82% of those were men. And only about 75% of all male drivers wear their seatbelts.
For decades, work cards have been mandatory here in Clark County, but yesterday the Clark County Commission adopted an ordinance which changes who needs work cards here in Southern Nevada. The ordinance eliminates maids, busboys, janitors, cooks, waitresses, or any group that does not deal with liquor or gaming from the list of employees required to get work cards. Now only people who work near gaming and alcohol, like bar owners, bartenders, and casino executives, will be required to get those cards. The new ordinance will take effect in 2 weeks. Work cards are still required by state law. Only Clark County has adopted this ordinance to eliminate certain groups.
We've been fairly lucky the past few days to have nice weather. Yesterday, we just tapped out at triple digits. But today, John, Fredericks, what do you think?
I think that we'll hit triple digits again. Summer, Las Vegas, I think it's a fairly decent bet. Absolutely. And we're getting close right now. Actually, it's very nice outside. It's warm. It's 95 degrees, sunshine. Winds haven't been much of a factor so far today, but I expect some breezes to start picking up. We have our own version of the mummy, a.k.a. Frenchman's. And right now, conditions look a little something like this. 95 degrees, 14% humidity, easterly breeze at 9, and the barometer is falling at 30.03 inches of mercury. When we get back together, I'll let you know how much warmer I think it's going to get today throughout the rest of the week. And, of course, we'll have a Thursday afternoon edition of the Fredericks Fact. Scott?
John, thank you. 4th of July celebrations, of course, are less than a week away, and fireworks go on sale around the valley today. You'll see the fireworks stands have been set up throughout the valley at parking lots. But remember, only those fireworks labeled safe and sane are legal. It's also a good idea to have a bucket of water nearby and to keep your pets indoors so they don't try to chase or even bite the fireworks.
It can be a problem. We talked about it earlier in the week with those pets. They get awfully scared with those fireworks that are going off.
That's exactly right. And speaking of fire, we do want to let you know that we are getting more information in on the fire on top of Caesar's Palace. And when we come back, we'll have an update on that as well.
The entertainment world has lost a legend. Coming up, actor Jack Lemmon has died. We will take a look back at his outstanding career.
And if you thought you could never have a cat because of allergies, think again. Researchers may be able to make you a new feline friend. Details coming up on News 3 at noon, where news comes first. Everyone everyone, you're looking at a live picture once again from Sky 3 of the third roof on top of Caesars Palace. Fire crews are still there assessing the damage. This after an explosion rocked the area at about 11:25 this morning, causing a lot of black smoke around the valley.
We're hearing reports that it could be a propane tank or possibly the air conditioner exploding. At this point, we're still getting information on that as that comes along. Of course, we'll bring that on to you. We do know that there are 3 injuries. One has burns about 20% of his body. 2 were hotel guests with minor injuries, and we're told that's due to smoke inhalation. So, of course, we have a live reporter on the scene, and we'll get back to that later on in the newscast.
And just to let you know, that video was not live video you're just looking at. That was video taken early this morning, just a few moments after that explosion, and we will bring you up to date on that shortly. Meantime, today, Hollywood mourns the loss of yet another acting legend. 2-time Academy Award-winning actor Jack Lemmon died late last night at the age of 76.
Lemmon has a list of film credits dating back to 1949. Dan Lothian takes a look back at his long life and his long, remarkable career.
You can't marry Osgood. He's too old for me. Jerry, you can't be serious. Why not? He keeps marrying girls all the time. But you're not a girl, you're a guy. And why would a guy want to marry a guy? Security.
2-time Academy Award winner Jack Lemmon was often called brilliant for his on-screen ability to make his audiences laugh and cry.
We have more than a couple of drinks. We get drunk. We stay drunk most of the time.
It seemed so natural, but Lemmon once said he relied on skill and personal experience to make his characters real.
I feel whenever you can draw out of what you have lived in your past, out of your personal experience, and use that in a character, great.
Lemmon is perhaps best known for his role as Felix Unger, the compulsive neat guy in the 1968 film The Odd Couple. He teamed up with best friend Walter Matthau.
Stop that, will you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to clear up my ears. You create a pressure inside your head. It opens up the eustachian tube.
But Hollywood would recognize him with Oscars for 2 other works.
Did you ever see such a hand-painted, hand-packed firecracker in your life?
First in 1955 for Best Supporting Actor in Mr. Roberts.
Well, I think it will. We almost went in our ass last year, and this is our only chance to bail out.
Then almost 20 years later for his role as a dress manufacturer in Save the Tiger. Lemmon's career spanned many decades, a multi-talented artist who played the piano, wrote songs, and stole the big screen. He was born in Massachusetts in a hospital elevator and got an early start in show business, taking to the stage at age 4. The Harvard-educated actor would later craft his skill, becoming what some have called one of the greatest actors in the history of the business.
And Jack's work, his career, his extraordinary range, his kindness, his generosity, he's been a big influence on me.
Lemmon's last feature was The Legend of Bagger Vance, directed by Robert Redford. And perhaps his finest performance came in a made-for-TV movie about death, where he played the dying professor in the 2000 television adaptation of the long-running bestseller, Tuesdays with Morrie.
That's not me. That's from W.H. Auden, my favorite poet.
We know that.
Lemmon loved his work and almost to the end kept finding new and inspiring roles.
If it did end tomorrow, I honestly feel that I have something that is much, much more important, and that is my family. They have given my life a wonderful purpose.
Jack Lemmon was 76. For Today, Dan Lothian, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And he will be missed. Lemmon's spokesman said Lemmon's wife and 2 of his children were at his bedside when he died.
And we will be right back with more, including your forecast and update on the fire on top of Caesars Palace.
It may have seemed like a match made in Hollywood, but Oscar winner Julia Roberts and boyfriend Benjamin Bratt have reportedly ended their 4-year relationship. The 2 were side by side back in March when Roberts won the Best Actress Oscar for the title role in Erin Brockovich. But both the New York Post and Daily News reports the two have indeed split up. The 37-year-old brat was a longtime star in Law and Order, and Roberts, who's 33, stars in the new upcoming movie America's Sweethearts, along with Catherine Zeta-Jones, John Cusack, and Billy Crystal.
Well, nothing stormy about the forecast as we move from stormy relationships to the weather. It looks very nice outside, John.
Beautiful outside.
Absolutely, positively. You got me thinking. I got the Lyle Lovett-Do going on. You never know.
You could be in the running again.
Could be in the running. All right, we'll keep my fingers crossed. 95 degrees, 14% humidity, winds easterly at 9, barometer falling at 30.03 inches of mercury. Your forecast for the rest of the day, we will probably top out at right around 102 degrees. That's actually still 2 degrees below average. I do expect the breezes to pick up this afternoon through this evening, and at times they might be gusty in the outlying areas, quite not like they have been in the last couple of days, but still expect some locally breezy conditions later on this afternoon through this evening. Lots of sunshine, very high UV. Across the rest of the nation, ouch. 90 degrees in New York City. You think, so what? Big deal. Wait a minute. 86 up in Minneapolis, 76 right now in Bismarck. Now, these temperatures don't seem that warm. However, when you factor in the humidity levels, you get the dog days. Now, you get that 90 degrees in New York, and then you factor in 42% relative humidity. That's not fun, folks. Look at that, 76% relative humidity right now up in Bismarck. We have humidity levels in the 40 and 50 percentile range across much of the east. This is very uncomfortable for those folks. As opposed to us, our humidity level was what? 14%. I think we can deal with that. Showers and thunderstorms wrapping around this big area of low pressure across much of the Gulf Coast in the south and southeast. No severe weather warnings in effect right now. That is good news. Some light showers up in the northwest. Forecast highs, 90s across the east, 80s and 90s across much of the north, 108 today for Phoenix. Let's give you a chance to win with the Fredericks Fact. One of the things we're going to give you is dinner for two over at Sazio. When you go, you can find out that Scott Haws likes pasta. Love pasta. There you go. All right, dinner for two at Sazio's. I got some other stuff for you as well. By the way, Sazio is in the house. Marlon Brando is the only actor to have starred in 2 of the top films on the American Film Institute's 100 Greatest Movies list. Name them. He's the only actor to star in 2 of the top 10 of the all-time 100 greatest movies. One of them is pretty easy. I need both of them. 657-3425. Dinner for two at Sazio. We're going to send you and a guest to go see our friends, Louis Anderson at the Rib, and that big family VIP 4-pack for Channel 3 night out at the races. We'll have your extended forecast and the answer in the next half hour. Chera, Scott?
Thank you, John. Are you in the market for a hot car?
Always, always. Right now, you can get a great classic car for a great price and help out a local charity. Back in May, Audrey Levinson won this beautiful 1955 Chevy Bel Air at a Danny Gann's benefit, and now she's auctioning it off on eBay. Proceeds will help the Lily Claire Foundation, a charity that seeks to improve the lives of individuals living with neurogenetic birth defects. If you'd like more information, or if you'd like to actually submit a bid, just go to our website, kvbc.com right now. The going bid, $20,000 for the car. That's appraised, really, at $50,000, and you have about 12 hours left to bid on that car.
John Frederick said it's beautiful. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Do you sneeze and wheeze and cough every time you get anywhere near a cat? Now, scientists think that they have come up with a way to bring you and your feline a little bit closer. Researchers say they can use gene technology to breed the world's first allergy-free cat. The cats would be a breed without a protein-producing gene that triggers allergies in some people. Scientists say they don't think removing the gene will harm the cats, and that's because the protein doesn't seem to serve any vital functions at all.
If you saw the black smoke around 11:25, 11:30 this morning coming from the Strip area, that was an explosion on top of Caesars Palace. 3 people were injured, 1 person taken to UMC with 20% of his body burned. We will have more on that coming up in a live report from Caesars Palace.
I'm Beth Fisher. Summer is about fun in the sun, but dehydration can be deadly.
It's crucial that kids get enough fluids to drink, especially in the hot summer months.
What you need to know about protecting your kids from dehydration today at 4.
Welcome back. You're looking at a live picture on top of Caesars Palace where an explosion of a propane tank took place earlier this morning around 11:20.
And we have a crew live on the scene right now, and we will get a live report in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. As we mentioned, breaking news, continued information coming in. We do know that it was a propane tank that exploded about 11:25. 3 people were taken to the hospital, though 2 of them tourists, 1 of them a worker.
That's right. We do have News 3 first response team coverage. Greg Deacon is in Sky 3, and Kim Capozzo is live at the scene. Kim, what exactly is happening now, and what have you heard?
Well, Chera, what a difference an hour makes. This scene is completely different than when it was when we first got on the scene, like I said, about an hour ago. Right now, Flamingo is open at I-15 in both directions. There's absolutely no sign of smoke behind me, but we have some video of when it happened. We were only a few streets over when the explosion happened. We came out to the parking lot to our car, and you couldn't even see Caesars. It was just enveloped in a huge black cloud. We do have the pictures that you can see there where it's not even quite as bad as when we first saw it. Now, this is what we know. This is the new information. Apparently, there was some discussion about where exactly this fire or this explosion started. We now know it was in between the 2 towers on a roof there. It was not in any of the new construction. Right now they're working on a new tower, which is just to the right over my shoulder here to the left of me, where they're working on some new construction and putting up a new tower. Initially, we thought maybe it had something to do with that, but again, it doesn't. You also just mentioned at the top of this half hour here that there was 1 person taken to the hospital with 20% burns over his body. That was a worker who was working on the roof apparently at the time. And again, 2 guests were also taken to the hospital. I guess they had some minor injuries because of the explosion. Again, initially, we weren't sure if it was a transformer that blew or a propane tank that exploded. We now know it was a propane tank that exploded, and we have some eyewitnesses that tell us exactly how it felt.
And she said, "Oh, fire, fire." And I looked, and this huge billow of smoke coming out near what looks like a penthouse area. Some other people were telling me they heard an explosion before it, but all we could see was very, very black smoke.
Yeah, I saw a black cloud coming from the hotel, and I saw, oh, fire, fire! I cried out.
I saw a bunch of smoke coming out from the top, and it was real, real thick, and then there was like a big explosion. It sounded like one of the propane tanks blew up.
Obviously startling those tourists and really startling the people that were working on the scene. Earlier at the top of the show, we talked with a construction worker that said it rocked his entire body. He compared it to being at a rock concert and being right in the front row where the bass was reverberating through his entire body. He said triple that, and that's how bad the explosion felt. So I have to say, I guess, when looking back at what's just happened here, such few injuries is a blessing considering the severity of what's happened here. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story and try and find out exactly what caused this propane tank to explode. Capozzo reporting live. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kim, thank you.
Thank you. Very scary. And now let's get a look from just above the fire where Captain Greg Deacon is.
Yeah, that's right. Just the cleanup and the investigation going on. We're zoomed in here right on the top here where most of the action took place there. You can see him looking at that air conditioning unit and walking around in some of the charred roofing area there. Again, it's stuck in between these 2 towers, which you've heard. And just to give you an idea of what some of the smoke and the intensity was here, you see the balconies right there in the actually left-hand, the middle of the screen now. That smoke damage, it's in the shade, but it's kind of hard to tell. The smoke damage runs all the way to the top of the towers there. Cody, if you'll kind of widen, there we go, widen out just a little bit here. And again, it's in the shade, but that smoke damage is all the way to the top. And again, no flame, no smoke in sight, getting a skid in the way here. But again, the investigation continuing, and luckily this thing could have been a lot worse. Again, showing that smoke damage with both these tall towers in between, it would have been very easy for either one of these or both these towers to catch on fire. But again, everything looking pretty good at this point. That's the bird's eye view from up top Sky 3. Now back to you.
Yeah, and Captain, if we can take another look here, I know that you can see some rolls of tar paper there. Some people may wonder why there is a propane tank on this tower in the first place, but just above to the top of the screen, you'll be able to see right there, you can see those rolls of tar paper that they apparently were doing some renovation. This is on the Centurion Tower there, and when they apply that, they use use, of course, propane, and they use a flame to actually adhere that to the top. And that's a very hot substance. And, of course, the black smoke is evidence of what they were doing up there. And one of the workers...
And, Scott, yeah, it looks like maybe that tarring where they were conducting that tar paper work, there's a little bit of area, again, lift up there, there's a little bit of right there. You can see that actually the color changes, so maybe, I'm not even sure if they were that far yet laying that tar down, but yeah, that's a really good point there too. And initially when we first got here, Scott, we were thinking that that was the cause of this fire, seeing that roofing, that tar paper activity going on there.
Appreciate the pictures. We know it's a tight area there again. 3 people were taken to the hospital. 2 of them tourists, the Sunrise Hospital, smoke inhalation, nothing serious there. But 1 worker who was there near the explosion, apparently 20% of his body suffered burns, was taken to UMC. We will have an update on his status as well coming up throughout the day.
Absolutely, and we'll have more on this story on our other newscasts throughout the day as well. On to more news of the day. They worked as a team breaking into homes around the valley, terrorizing homeowners, even sexually assaulting at least one of their victims.
That's exactly right. But now, just days after their latest crime spree, police have arrested this team of 4 men and 1 woman. This is video of one of the suspects who was arrested yesterday. 3 other men and 1 woman were also taken into custody. You can see the 1 suspect right here in handcuffs as he's being escorted down the stairs by police. It's welcome news for one couple who came face to face with 3 of the burglars on Tuesday. A horrifying experience they say they'll never forget.
We're going to kill you. If you don't give us your guns, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you. We're going to kill you.
That was the homeowner involved in that home invasion. 3 men who broke into his house on Tuesday did more than just steal $2,000 in cash and $7,000 in jewelry. At one point, police say they sexually assaulted a woman in the home. Here he is walking our photographer through the home and telling him what happened. They grabbed one of his family's dogs, breaking an 8-year-old girl's little heart, and as I mentioned, sexually assaulting the woman in the home. The dog has since been found and returned to the owners, and police say the valley is much safer now that these suspects are in custody.
These guys are extremely dangerous. As you know, they entered these locations with weapons. They committed a sexual assault. Basically, these individuals were predators, and we're extremely happy we got them off the street.
Police right now say they believe the suspects are connected to 3 recent robberies in West Las Vegas and 1 in Henderson.
Unfortunately, home invasions and burglaries happen all the time. Oftentimes, the homeowner could have prevented becoming a victim just by taking a little more time each day to be more cautious and aware of their surroundings. In the first half hour, we gave you some tips on what to do when you're home to lessen the likelihood of a home invasion. Now we have some tips on what to do when you leave for work, especially if you are going out of town. First, never leave your garage door open, even if it's just a crack during the hot months, for ventilation. Keep lights on inside and use timer lights outside. Also, let your neighbors know when you're leaving town. Have them take out your trash and pick up any papers or notices delivered to your door that are left in the driveway. Have someone mow your lawn and keep your yard up if you're still going to be gone for several days. And if you leave a car outside, don't leave a garage door open or inside your car. Once someone is inside your garage, they can shut the door and go unnoticed as they try to get into your home. When it comes to burglaries or home invasions, police say staying in touch with your neighbors is the best form of crime prevention. If anyone notices someone that looks suspicious, they should call police.
Some great tips. Meantime, a major legal decision for Microsoft today. A federal appeals court overturned the landmark decision to break the software giant into 2 companies. This ruling only overturns the penalty against Microsoft. There's no challenge to the ruling that Microsoft violated antitrust laws when it bundled its Internet Explorer browser with the highly popular Windows software. The appeals court merely erased the decision to break up the company based on the actions of the trial's original judge. Now the case will return to district court, where a new judge will determine the future of Microsoft.
Relatives of the Houston woman accused of drowning her 5 children say she was a good person but racked by depression. Andrew Kennedy and Michelle Freeman spoke about their sister this morning. They said she'd been in the hospital 4 times over the past 2 years and even attempted suicide several months ago.
We saw the problems. We knew she wasn't happy, but we didn't know really what to do. We'd ask her, how she's doing, and she'd say fine. And we could tell by looking at her, and she wasn't doing fine. She lost weight. She, hadn't laughed in at least a year, not once. So, we could see the signs.
The Family regrets not stepping forward to more aggressively help out the Yates. Now they urge everyone to watch their own relatives closely for any signs of acute depression.
Our own Kendall Tenney is here in the studio with today's edition of Take the Time to Teach when we come back. And now we are all humming the tune after that short little commercial, Take the Time to Teach. It's the only way we're going to learn, you know that?
Take the time to teach.
That's right. You can never really, though, take enough safety precautions when it comes to your children. Wow.
In today's Take the Time to Teach, we're learning about pool safety tips. Kendall Tenney has today's Take the Time to Teach and a guest from the Red Cross. Kendall?
All right, thank you very much, Chera. And Scott, you've been hanging around John Fredericks too long. Joining me today for Take the Time to Teach is Kathy Tisdale. She is from the Southern Nevada American Red Cross. Right. And we are going to talk a little bit about a very serious subject, and that is pool safety. Last year alone, 6 children in Clark County died as a result of drowning. So there are ways to prevent this sort of tragedy. The very first thing is to learn how to swim or teach your children how to swim.
That's right. There are a number of organizations around Southern Nevada that offer Red Cross Learn to Swim programs for children as young as 1 or 2 years old up through adults, because not all adults know how to swim either. You can go through Parks and Recreation, you can go through the YMCA. It doesn't matter, but the courses are there and people need to take them.
Most drownings take place in family pools, in backyard pools.
Right.
What is something you should do if your child is missing? What is the first thing you should do in your house?
Well, the first thing, if your child is missing, immediately look for them around their pool. Look in the pool and walk around the pool, and keep doing it and keep calling until you identify the child.
It's such a scary prospect, and yet so many people go through this. And some people have a false sense of security. They may have a pool cover, they may have a pool alarm, they may have a fence around their pool. It's not enough, though, is it?
No. In fact, most people who think their pool is safe actually have missed a couple of important precautions. Number one, if you have a doggy door, little toddlers figure out, just like your dog do, how to go through that doggy door and get out to the backyard. So make sure that that is not accessible to a young child. And number two, when you put your fence around the pool, make sure that you've got vertical bars around that fence so that the child can't get through it, and children from the neighborhood can't get in from the outside and get into your pool when you're not even around.
Yeah, and really there's no substitute, though, for constant adult supervision. And we say this so many times.
We say it, and parents think, well, I only took my eyes off my child for a minute, or I just went in to answer the phone. Right. And the other very simple thing a parent can do is not only never leave your child unattended, but make sure that you've either got a cell phone or a cordless phone right by the pool, so if it does ring, you can answer it right there and never take your eyes off your child.
And that's part of keeping basic life-saving equipment around the pool. What are some of the other things?
You can keep the buoy, you can keep the long pole. You can also do very simple things. A lot of the toys that we buy for kids to play with, or that as adults we use in the backyard pool, can also be used as life-saving devices, so that you don't even have to get into the water in order to pull a person safely out of the water.
Learning CPR, crucial.
Every teenager, every adult should know CPR, because if there is a near drowning in the pool and you get the person out, CPR skills are the very first thing that should be administered, and it's a very simple course. Red Cross partners with organizations all over Southern Nevada to offer CPR training, and many employers also offer CPR training, so those skills that you're learning at the workplace not only protect you and your coworkers, but when you bring them home, they protect you, your family, and maybe your neighbors.
Yeah, in the meantime, you can become a lifeguard along with that, too. I mean, take it a step farther.
Yeah, you know, there is a lot has been written over the last couple of months. There is not only a nationwide lifeguard shortage, but there is also a severe lifeguard shortage in Southern Nevada. The hotels are trying to hire lifeguards, as are many of the community and neighborhood pools. So if you are a certified lifeguard and you're looking for a good summer job, it's a great opportunity. If you want more information, you can certainly call the Red Cross and we can provide it to you.
Kathy Tisdale, thank you so much for coming today. Such an important thing to talk about. Already this year, unfortunately, 2 more drownings, and the summer's just getting underway.
It's one of the most preventable of family tragedies.
All right, Kathy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kendall.
Chera, Scott?
Thank you, Kendall. Kathy. John Fredericks has your forecast when we come back.
Folks, welcome back. We'll get you all the way through the answer to the Fredericks Fact. Outside right now, we're taking a shot at McCarran International Airport. Current temperature there is 95 degrees, 14% relative humidity. Easterly breeze only at 9, barometer falling, so we're not getting the breezes we have been, but I do expect some breezes to start picking up throughout the afternoon. We should top out today right around 102 degrees. Yesterday, we hit triple digits on the money. Our afternoon high yesterday was 100 degrees. Our average is 104. We'll be back there by tomorrow or the next day at the very latest. But we've got good air quality, and we'd love to see that. Sunsets this evening at 8:02. Across the rest of the west, temperatures, we've even got some 70 marks up to the north, mostly 90s across the desert to the southwest, 74 right now at LAX, much warmer in the inland valleys. Storm systems now beginning to get deflected further to the north as high pressure once again takes command, builds back in, and that means mostly sunny days and warmer conditions over the next several. 81 up on the mountain today, some pretty decent ridge breezes, keep that in mind, and it will get a bit bumpy out on the water and down along the lake later on this afternoon. The spread 103 to 108 from Lake Mead to Laughlin. Here's your 5-day forecast, just shy of the answer to the fact. 102 today, locally breezy this afternoon, breezy again tomorrow, 105, then right around 105 to 106 both Saturday and Sunday. Did you have the correct answer to the Fredericks Fact? Phil Berger certainly did. It was not necessarily an easy one. Marlon Brando, the only actor to have starred in 2 of the top 10 films in the AFI, American Film Institute's 100 Greatest Movies list. He named him. That would be The Godfather. That was the easy one, and On the Waterfront from back in 1954. Congratulations to Phil. He's got the big VIP Family 4-pack to go to Channel 3 night out at the races on Tuesday. Plus, going to go see our good friend Louis Anderson over at the Rib next week, and he's going to go over to Sazio over at the Orleans and see this guy. Is the chroma keying out? There you go. All right, well, we got more of that and more with Sazio. Chef Gustav is in. He's coming up next right here on News 3. Don't run away.
It's time now for your chance to win free tickets to see NSYNC. Friday, July 27th at Sam Boyd Stadium. Compliments of tickets.com. Just be the third caller at 657-9667 and you'll win.
The Fredericks Facts contest is held during weekday morning and noon newscast. The winner is the first caller with the correct answer to the question and will be notified at that time. Prices and their value vary. Each winner must pick up their prize at KVBC within 1 week of notification. Any Nevada resident at least 18 years old can enter, except employees of KVBC, their families and household members, and all affiliated companies. The winner may be required to sign a waiver and a promotional release. Complete contest rules, including prices and their value, can be obtained at kvbc.com or during regular business hours at KVBC, 1500 Four Master Lane, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Attention business owners, call the number on your screen now to find out how you can advertise on TV for just $208 a month. Reach thousands of potential customers to help increase your sales. Call Consumer Source at 730-0001 and increase your bottom line today.
Welcome back, everyone. Really, it's all in the name, Sazio. It means to be satisfied in Italian. Over in Italy, they would say sono sazio. I'm full, I can't eat anymore, but typically they do over in Italy. Gustav Mahler, thank you so much for stopping by. This is a restaurant. You can go check out Sazio over at the Orleans, a wonderful Italian restaurant. And you mentioned that this is kind of a creation where you're still trying to bring in top quality food, really at a price that is affordable for people where they can still get that quality food and not have to save up for a month.
Absolutely. Our price points, lunch goes from $5, $6, and $7.
Reasonable.
And dinner, I think you easily no more. Dinner menu starts at $7, $8, $9, and $10. I think your average check with wine and everything is $15.
Yeah.
What I'm preparing for you today is a very simple Italian dish, and it's a shrimp fra diavolo. We only have a few minutes on the show, so what I did, a teaspoon of garlic, a teaspoon of shallots, added the shrimp to it, just saute the shrimp for 1 minute in there, okay? We add a little bit of the crushed peppers, and here you have to be careful. The peppers obviously add quite some seasoning to it, so if you like it hot, you add a little more.
And hence the name Fra Diavolo, which means, you know,
the devil.
Of the devil. Anytime you see that in Italian cooking, it's going to be hot.
Another little twist of fresh pepper, a little bit of salt. I like to deglaze my pan with a dash of white wine.
There we go.
A little bit. There we go.
And that smells wonderful. Smell-o-vision is still in the works, folks.
Yeah, but this is one of the simplest and most popular seafood dishes, and it can be made in just, you see here now, in a few minutes. Obviously, this is a wonderful homemade marinara sauce, but for you at home, it's very easy to use to use the tomato sauce from the store. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm adding a few herbs to it. I have a little chopped basil.
And let's be honest, the true secret to a good marinara sauce, what is it?
It's crushed plum tomatoes. Really, what we do is we take these wonderful sweet tomatoes, either from Italy or from California, which have wonderful products. We simply just crush them, saute a little garlic, a little bit of onion, and just reduce it a bit. Then we take we chop it up, and that's it.
Wonderful.
That's all it takes.
That smells great.
But as you can see, this was in a few more minutes is totally finished. That's all you need to do with this dish. Obviously, we would have a little pasta. Maybe pour this over pasta, whatever you like at home. You have penne, or you would use linguine or fettuccinis, whatever you prefer. And this dish is completed. You can use lobster. You can use scallops. You can use mussels or clams, and it's again very, very simple to do.
Now we should mention something that you brought up on the menu. There's a section that you can either purchase a meal solo or grandioso, so that allows you to have some flexibility when you're ordering.
What I did with this restaurant, because when people come in with two, the large portions scare customers away. So I created a solo, which is a normal dish, and what you find in normal restaurants. And on the same side, I have this called grandioso, and you would have this unbelievable platter of 4 pieces of chicken parmesans or veal parmesan, or this gigantic pasta with these wonderful shrimp fra diavolo, as you see in here on there, or a lobster dish, or a simple chicken with just a fresh broccoli and a little fresh tomato and a touch of white wine without any sauce.
That's wonderful. Sazio at the Orleans. You can go check out some of the pictures. John Fredericks showed you his picture. Sue Manteris, a lot of other people from around town. It's a great place to dine. Gustav Mahler, Chef Extraordinary, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone.